"You!" yelled Beatrice, narrowing her eyes. She couldn't believe who it was. "What will I owe you now?" murmured Beatrice. As her mystery benefactor guided her out of the jail, the next morning the Smith penthouse was all aflutter once more as Chef Julian served breakfast, and Nora got the 3 children out the door to school. Quinn decided that she would spend her first official day as Fred's private physician, amassing information. She sat in her office and read through what medical files she had available. The files were incomplete, of course, because Fred's father had signed out a number of them just before Quinn had arrived at Roosevelt Hospital to collect them. She was determined not to let this bother or deter her. Once she had read through all the materials, which had taken her all morning, Quinn called Fred on the phone.
"Quinn?"
asked Fred from his downtown office.
"Is everything okay?"
"Sure. I've just read through all your various charts, and I'm working on a health plan tailored just for you." "I had a question, though," Quinn said.
"Anything,"
he answered. "Have you ever used acupuncture as a means of addressing the muscle trauma in your neck and upper back?"
"What? Like needles? You want to stick needles in me?"
exclaimed Fred. "I think it might be beneficial. I'm bringing in an acupuncturist for this afternoon. Can you be back home by 4 o'clock?
"Listen, Quinn,"
began the executive, trying to play down his fear of needles.
"I don't know how I feel about that kind of mumbo-jumbo. Is that even real medicine?"
"It's not Western medicine, no," confessed the doctor. "But it's something that I've seen be helpful sometimes in cases like yours. Release some of the tension."
"Ridiculous,"
Fred proclaimed. "Fred, do you remember what one of my main rules was about taking the job as your personal physician? I said you had to obey my advice. Are you going to give me a hard time?" Quinn heard Fred exhale on the other end of the phone.
"Okay, fine. 4 o'clock.
Quinn rushed to reassure him. "Look, just try it one time, okay? And if it doesn't help, then you need never try it again. Is that fair?"
"Yes, that's fair,"
agreed Fred, as he and Quinn said their goodbyes. At 4 o'clock, when Fred arrived back at the penthouse, Quinn was as good as her word. In Fred's office, the acupuncturist had set up a table covered by a sheet. Calming Zen music played from the acupuncturist's music player on the desk, and Quinn lit some sandalwood-scented aromatherapy candles to add to the meditative mood in the room. Fred set down his briefcase on the love seat nearby. Before he could sit down, the acupuncturist handed Fred a towel and said in a voice so low he almost couldn't be heard, "Please take a shower, Mr. Smith." Fred looked at Quinn with a confused look on his face, but Quinn indicated her head toward the acupuncturist, wanting Fred to listen and obey. Why was Fred being so awkward? "Fine," he said, rolling his eyes, taking the towel from the acupuncturist and heading into his private washroom to the side of his suite. "He's afraid of needles," said the acupuncturist to Quinn. "I see it all the time." "What can I do to make this easier for him?" asked Quinn. "Hold his hand," replied the older man, the kindness in his eyes reassuring Quinn. Fred came into the room. Quinn held her breath. Quinn tried to form words, but could not. The acupuncturist chimed in, breaking the awkwardness of the moment. "Here," he said, motioning toward the table and pulling back the top sheet. "Lie on your front," he said, patting the table. Fred got onto the table as instructed. Quinn reached forward and grabbed Fred's hand, hoping this would help calm him, as the acupuncturist had suggested. "First needle, okay?" said the acupuncturist as Quinn squeezed Fred's hand. "You feel a sharp little point here, okay? Stay very still. Don't move." As soon as Fred felt the needle puncture and stab into his skin, he instantly reacted. His injuries from being in Afghanistan were not merely of the physical kind. Fred's arms swung out, probably more forcefully than he had intended. Quinn, who was holding Fred's hand, was thrown off balance, tumbled backward, and slipped, threatening to pull him right off the table.
Hi, Quinn here, and if you're wondering what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.